Hello cookies, it's Siri, I am back and today we're going to talk about detective games. More specifically, Emio-The Smiling Man and Dog Detective, The Secret Salami. As you can tell from the title of this video, I find these two games overpriced at full price. Emio, I got it as a birthday present from my brothers. Dog Detective, I got it on sale on Steam. I love detective games and I had played the two Famicom games that were released on the Switch. The story was interesting and captivating, but those games were so frustrating. I had to talk to the people and then redo the dialogues and then just go one by one through every line to try to advance the story. It was so freaking frustrating. I finished both of the games because I was curious about the stories, but it was tedious and it was frustrating. And that is something that they greatly improved in Emio, where I did get stuck a few times and had to go back and re-ask the same questions until something was triggered, but it was not as annoying as with the first two Famicom games. However, there are so many loose ends and so many tropes that are so typical and boring. I had a lot of fun playing the game, but I'm just really glad that it was a gift because I would have felt so bad buying it at full price. Yes, the animations look good, and yes, there is a lot of work that is put behind it. There's no question in that. It's not a game that was put together in 2 months and released. It is a good quality game, but for the number of hours and for how many animations there are, yes, towards the end, there's a very long animation, but still, for me, I have played other games with long animations as well that are not as expensive or that are around the same price, but you understand why. And for Emio, the smiling man, I really do not understand the price point. And that is coming from someone who has always loved Nintendo games. They are my childhood games. I love the Pokemon franchise, will always be my favorite. Zelda, before the Nintendo DS, I played them many times before that, but after that, not really, because I'm not super interested. The newest one, I am very interested, but I will wait for a sale. I was left wondering about many things after finishing the game, and there are loose ends, or one main loose end for most people. I will not say what it is, but there's one main loose end that I have seen people complain about on Reddit and on other French forums. The main basis of what is happening does not make a lot of sense and is a little bit too generic and too expected. At half price, I would have understood, but definitely not at full price, even though it was a good experience. It was the right game for me during my recovery. It was interesting. It was like reading a book, but I would not say that it was the best book of my life, and it's not an experience that I would put in my top 20 best Nintendo games that I have ever played. Emio, the Smiling Man, would have been nicer if it were cut to 6 hours, because sometimes it was just dragging on for the sake of dragging on, and I would get a bit bored and think, a 6 hour condensed, really interesting story would have been more like, wow, this was impactful. This was short-ish, but still it really hits you where it's supposed to hit you, while now it was dragged on to 12 hours that for me were kind of unnecessary. When it comes to Dog Detective, The Secret Salami, I played the demo on the Switch and I absolutely loved it, but even back then, I did not want to buy the game at full price, and then it went on sale on Steam, and you cookies know that I like my sales. It played well. I don't think there is a huge difference as to how it plays on the Switch and on Steam, and it was a fun experience. But when it was finished after 2 hours, I thought, was that it? And I am so glad I did not purchase it at full price. Yes, it is fun. It is sometimes a little bit tricky and it had me thinking a few times. It looks childish, but it's not that childish. If a child plays, they will see the superficial dynamics, but adults will definitely see corporate office dynamics, a lousy boss dynamics, some weird colleagues that you just have to endure dynamics, being overworked and underpaid. There are adult themes disguised under a more childish vibe, but I think they're super smart in the way that it is a game that could work for children or young teenagers, but also adults who definitely relate and understand. For 2 hours at full price, for me, Duck Detective, The Secret Salami is not worth it. The voice acting is top notch. It's so freaking good, and you can tell that they put a lot of effort into it. It is a well-made, good game. I don't have anything bad to say about it, but for the length and the experience, with a sale 10%, 15%, it's okay, but I would still not have purchased it at full price. They're both good games. I had a good time with them, but compared to so many other games that I have played that offer longer experiences, and yes, I know that sometimes it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. I do understand that, and there are games I would be ready to pay over and over again at full price for. As for Duck Detective, The Secret Salami, I would have liked a longer game. I thought that this salami case was the first case. I only saw the Duck Detective. I did not focus on the Secret Salami part in the name, so I guess that was the only case. I thought that that would be the first case, and then there would be more cases and harder and just more. Maybe there are DLCs coming, I'm not sure. And that's it for today's video. Cookies, let me know if you have played either one of those games. I know that people will be mad at me. I just really cannot justify the price. I tried to rake my head, break my brain, think about it, but it is what it is. Let me know if you have played those games. Let me know what you thought about them. If you have other recommendations of detective games, I have played the Sherlock Holmes games on the Switch. I have played the Hercule Poirot games. I have played most big detective games that you can find on the Switch and also on the Nintendo DS and the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I really like detective games. And that's it for today. I will see you cookies very, very soon. Bye!